Hi, and welcome to Mondays with Marlo. I am very excited to have our guest today because she's going to teach us so many things that we wish we knew and we should know by now. And it's our author and our motivator, Agapi Stassinopoulos. I'm so excited to have you here today because you talk about all these things. All of our women in our community and our men too talk about how they get bogged down by what other people think they should do, by what's normal, whether to get a job that really makes you feel good or a job that pays better money. You know, how do you make these decisions? So I and one of the things you said that really excited me, you said because you're single, that single's the wrong word. You're
Yes.
singular.
Right.
Because single sounds like you're half of something, and
there's a
singular,
stigma, yes.
and singular is a whole something.
Exactly, and it's that's one of the things that I learned in my life because I haven't been married for a long time, and people say, "Are you single?" And I said, "Well, I'm singular. That means you're contained within yourself."
Right, that's great.
And then you decide if you want to be in partnership or not.
That's right. That's wonderful.
But it's much more. It gives you much more authority inside,
Yes.
where you don't feel like a victim. Oh my God, I'm single.
Right.
you know.
Well, you know, your whole book is like that. Unbinding the Heart. I love that title.
I love that title. A dose of Greek wisdom, generosity, and unconditional love.
Because why are our hearts so bound up?
Why? I mean, yours isn't.
Well, but why are
Because
they?
I don't think I ever saw you being bound because you always had that exuberance about you. And that's what I talk about, you know, how it's incredible to give yourself permission to really be who you are, say what you feel, both the positive and the negative. Just express yourself. And many times, you know, our society, our parents, our teachers don't give us permission.
Right.
We have to give it to ourselves.
Right.
Right?
And it takes a long time.
Yeah, it does take time.
Right.
And the more you try it out and then see how you feel, giving yourself the permission to be happy, to be more joyful, and to really express what's hidden inside. And I think I always made this comparison of this tradition in Chinese culture, you know, they used to bind their feet of the
Yes.
little girls.
Yes.
It was very painful.
Yes.
And I think in the Western society, we've learned to bind our hearts
Wow.
and to pretend we're something else than
That's
we
right.
are.
To fit in.
To fit in.
To please others.
Exactly,
Yeah.
to be liked.
Yes.
And we women have a lot of that. We
Right.
want to be liked. We want to
Right.
be approved.
Right.
So we shortcut ourselves.
Yes.
Now, in Greek culture, there's a lot of permission to be who you are. And there is a
really?
lot well, people are much more exuberant. They express. I mean, people get angry and they vent.
Yes.
There's a lot of passion.
Yeah, in my life too, I'm Italian and Lebanese. So
You
it's
know,
very open.
I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, actually, and I said, "How are you?" She told me, "Awful." I cracked up laughing, and I said,
Yes.
"That's so honest."
Yes.
I mean, instead of saying "fine,"
Yes,
How are
right.
you? I mean, in Greece, nobody's ever fine. We don't have "fine" is not a word we have in the Greek vocabulary, because really, Marlo, who is ever fine?
Right, exactly.
I mean, life is just so ups and downs,
Right, right,
emotional. You're hectic, you're angry, you're upset, you're sad.
Yeah.
Things happen. You know, we have friends who get diagnosed with disease, cancer, and you know.
Oh,
I mean,
divorce. Kids are in
divorce,
trouble.
Everything.
Yeah. So let's get right to the questions. This is from, they're waiting for you. They want to know. This is from Shani06. She's right there. Hi, Shani. I've
Hi,
always been
Shani.
somebody's someone. I've always been somebody's daughter, wife, friend, mother. Now that the last of my 4 children have left the nest and I'm divorced, how in the world do I go about finding me? I feel like an unwrapped baby.
Well, you know what? This reminds me of the story of how do porcupines make love? Very carefully. So how do you about to go to find yourself? This is an exciting time that needs a lot of care. And you tend to yourself little by little. You start to do things that you really are excited about. You start to test the ground in a way. Say, is this for me? No. Is this for me? Do I want to experiment? Do I want to try something new? Do I want to learn a new language? Do I want to go to a new class? Something that makes you spark. This is a great time to get your spark up.
That's a great idea. Put something new in your life.
New.
That's
Yes.
right.
Even if you start looking at books that have new images, new countries, and you say, well, I can't go there yet, but look at these pictures. I could next year potentially go to this new place.
Yes. But you know, I once broke up with a man in my life and it was devastating. And I was, you know, crying and upset and just very upset about the whole thing. and I took a Latin American dance class.
Oh,
I just thought I
great.
want to go someplace where I'm just doing something
Salsa.
that I don't know how to do anyway, but just having to focus on that and jump around the room and everything, it was so great for me.
And then you met a Latin man who didn't speak English.
I should have, but I didn't. But it really helped.
That's fantastic.
This is from Marianne 1720. Norman Vincent Peale was the pioneer of positive thinking. I read him a lot. And I was wondering what your thoughts were on positive affirmation and how important it is, if you think it's effective. How powerful is self-talk? Can it really affect the outcome of my life?
Thank you for this question, Maran. I love that question because I feel there's a difference between positive thinking and positive vision. It's hard to be positive all the time in this world and every day. But if you have a vision, it's something that pulls you towards good results in your life. The vision of feeling good, the vision of a career that you love, the vision of... My mother had a great vision, and she was the pioneer of... She had a lot of struggles in her life, but she had this vision of what she wanted me and my sister to accomplish. And the vision of where you are going is something that propels you and supports your positive thinking. And never force yourself to be positive, because that's like very pressured. And if you're not positive and you're feeling upset or negative, if you voice it and you bring it out, you can work through being positive.
Yeah.
Right? Because if
yes.
you say, I'm feeling fantastic, and there's a positive affirmation,
Right.
and you're feeling lousy,
Right.
part of you is going, who are you kidding?
But I like the idea of a positive vision. You're not feeling very well right now, but if you could think about that thing that you want to get to, it gives you a positive goal.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. The vision is a good idea. This is from New Hampshire Dreamer. What do you think is a more powerful motivator, punishment or reward? In raising children, job performance, or personal goals like dieting or even practicing an instrument?
Well, I'm a big advocate of loving and never punishing. I think the greatest motivator is appreciation, prizing the children, telling them how good they are at something. Because when you look at what they're good at, you reinforce. It's like an injection of positiveness and goodness that they can take. And children who are building their self-esteem, I think punishment is a terrible thing.
I do too. This is from Ahmed. What do you do when no matter how hard you try, nothing changes?
I say stop trying hard. Just don't try. Just let something be the way it is, and then start to take microscopic steps towards the change you want in whatever it is. It's a little bit like exercising. If you're trying to lift weights, you won't. But if you just lift a little weight every day, then you start to build the new muscles. And be patient with yourself.
You know, there's something that I heard that I always think about, because I'm always having challenges. And this saying was, the definition of insanity is doing something the same way and expecting different results.
Right, that's wonderful.
So maybe the thing that you're trying really hard to get or to change, try another way.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just trying one way. Try another way. And if that doesn't work, try another way. Because somewhere you're going to find the door to open up and get that thing you want and change.
Beautiful,
But,
yeah.
but if you keep doing it the same way...
Exactly. It's pattern interrupt.
You'll never get there.
Yeah.
This is from Debbie. Has your sister Ariana had an effect on your personal philosophy and outlook? Well, Ariana's your older sister, right?
Yes,
So
thank
she
you, Debbie. Yes, well, I think she's had an amazing effect in my personal outlook and philosophy. And we support each other, and we have different ways of doing our lives, and we learn from each other. And one of the greatest things I love that Ariana has is her ability to let go very fast.
Really?
You know, if something happens that's upsetting or something, she has an ability to move on, while I'm much more of a processor. I need to talk about it. I need to kind of,
Right.
Look into it. I have a different nature.
Right.
And Ariana said, that happened yesterday, honey. Today we're in today.
Yeah, right.
Okay. It's like she's an ability.
That's great.
Well, I think that way you don't drag in
Right.
the past,
My father used to say that. I do not hunch my back with yesterday.
Oh, I love that.
That's great. Yeah, that's great.
Because if you're present,
Yes.
then your energy is available to you to
Right.
accomplish what you need to
Right.
do in the present.
Right. You can't do anything about yesterday anyway.
No.
This is from Michelle Madison. what are a few tips that almost everyone can apply to their life so they can find more happiness?
All right. Hi, Michelle. I have 5 great tips. Okay, are you ready? The first one is something that I have learned from my own life a lot, which is ask for what you want. Ask people. When you want something, tell people what it is you want. And there's a difference between demanding or asking. When you ask and they say no, they can't help, ask the next one. I usually have this little technique say ask at least 12 people for what you want and start to see what happens. Also, the asking gives you a message that you deserve to receive and you deserve to be supported. The other one is to find your spark in life. Find if you have a job or if you have something that you're doing that you are not as happy, find still something that really activates you, that enlivens you, that makes you feel happy, and start doing more of that. The other thing is, I always say to people, when you want something, hold the thoughts of what it is you want. Think more of the thoughts of what it is you want to achieve or want to feel like. So more of what creates the thing you want is this thoughts and consistency. So for example, if you want a promotion, hold the thought of getting the promotion. If you say to yourself, I'll never get a promotion, then you won't.
Right.
And then it's how to turn your disappointments into opportunities, things that don't work out. And I always say that in my life, the things that did not work out were as substantial and effective and enlightening in a way as the things that did work out. And if you want to really, the 5th tip that I trust and always works in my life is that if I want to feel empowered or feel more good about myself in the day or in my life, is help someone else get what they want. Because when you do, you find first of all, you get out of your own way.
Right.
You know, and it's a friend or a child or someone who needs something, and you say, let me help you get that, whatever it is.
Right.
And suddenly you feel so good about yourself.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who need help with a lot of things.
Right.
And that's something, again, I learned from my mother. She was a master at making other people happy. And it's a great feeling.
Yes, it is a good feeling. As long as you don't forget yourself.
No.
Which some people do.
Yes,
They
no,
put
don't do
themselves-
that.
yeah.
No, don't forget
No,
yourself.
but that's great.
Yeah, put you on top of the list.
That's right. This is from Jackie T. Some people are born with a natural tenacity to be motivated and never give up. Is this an ability that can be taught or learned to persist even when there's a lot of obstacles in their way? And how big of a role does genetics play, do you think?
Genetics is a big role, but I think there are certain people who are much more ambitious and driven than others, and I think it's okay to really accept your nature and say how driven are you and how much do you want to persist on something and how much do you care about it, and to be honest with yourself.
I think those are good tips, though, that you just said before. This person is asking, how do you never give up?
Yeah.
I have a friend who was diagnosed with lung cancer that had gone to her brain. And a couple of doctors told her that she was going to die in 4 months. She went to 12 different doctors who all said the same thing. And the 13th doctor in New Jersey said, I think I can help you. And she's alive 14 years later.
Amazing.
And I said to her one day, how did you just keep going to find that? I said, after 7, I would have accepted the fact that I was going to die. And she said, I wanted to live.
That's fantastic.
And it was such a great thing. She wanted to live. So if you really want something, just keep going for it. And eventually, you may just get it.
I had a friend of mine who had a book that she wanted published. Guess how many rejections she had? 137.
Oh, no.
137. Now you try that one.
Did she ever get it published?
She did. It was amazing. And I mean, this woman takes, the Oscar of not giving up on rejection.
Great. Oh, that's great.
And I was blessed in a way. I was asked to write my first book.
Oh, that's great.
So when I looked at that, I thought, that is amazing.
Amazing. That's
and
amazing.
that's the kind of spirit, because she wanted that book.
Right.
I would have given up.
I know. You think you would, but I bet you
and
would
the same thing with dating. I had a friend who, I think 54 dates. Not
couldn't have done it.
Not good dates either. Like little dates, like she would call them mini dates, like half an hour. She would meet them and get out of the way. And that's it. The 54th person, or I think she went to somebody back that she had met for once. But anyways, 54 dates. Now, come on, Marlo.
I
you
know.
know.
No, that takes a lot of stamina.
But it's just if you really want it, just go for it. What's to give
Exactly,
up? Where are you going?
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Agapi. This is from Stacy H. Morris. What does the phrase "change the channel" mean, and exactly how do you apply it? Your mother—that's your mother's phrase,
Yes,
isn't it?
Stacy, how wonderful! How you know that? I love that. So yes, there is a chapter in my book actually called "Change the Channel." My mother, the ultimate positive vision person, when you were down and she would see you like moping, she would say, "Darling, change the channel." And what that meant is like you're moping, you're recycling. I call it recycling that thought of not feeling good, feeling victimized. This never happened to me. What is it? Feeling sorry about yourself. And that means you just basically get on that horse, take the reins, and you say, okay, this happened, I'm on the next thing. And you can do that because we have the ability to change the way we feel.
Right.
And that's what her Change the Channel.
That's
so it became a big
it's like a TV set.
Yeah, like if you're watching a reality show and you hate it, and you or the Fear Factor, you know, or whatever, you know, you say I hate that show. You say, well, change the channel. What's the golf channel?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
what's the tennis channel?
That's right.
Watch whatever you want. And it's our minds are a little bit like that. It's just a screen. We can change.
Here's one that I think you'll want to answer. This is from Loretta. How do you truly find yourself after many years of being an abused wife? I have 4 wonderful children and grandchildren. I've been divorced since 2004. I'm on my own path, just trying to find my way. Any suggestions?
Loretta? Is that Loretta?
Yes.
Loretta.
Loretta.
Thank you, Loretta. Well, just my heart goes out to you because I think, first of all, that is just one of the hardest things to live through. And you're out of it. And healing places like that have been so abused or wounded is a long process, and with a lot of love, a lot of tenderness, a lot of prayer, and a lot of healing to yourself, whatever you need to take care of yourself and to have others take care of you, and allow love to come in the places that has been abused. It's a long process, but it's a sacred process that's really with you and your soul in a way, to really bring forward that divinity inside of you that heals those parts that have been really hurt. And I've been a lot around abused women, and it's watching the process of how they come out of it and restore themselves to themselves. It's a really amazing process, and you can do it.
And congratulations for being out of it.
Being out of it.
Yeah, God bless. God bless. And do something to make yourself feel good. This is from Ryan Murray. Greetings, Mrs. Stassinopoulos. I'm a career specialist. Ms. Stassinopoulos. Oh. I'm a career specialist at the University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri. What is the single best advice you've received about beginning a career? I'm always looking for new ways to inspire my students, and I wanted to get your opinion.
Well, in my life, I started as an actress at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts because that's where I wanted to go, and God bless my mother. She carved the way for me to get there. And because I had so many obstacles getting the jobs as an actress, that was the career I had chosen. I thought it would be good for me. I moved into doing other things and found what I say my spark, which is basically create my one-woman show, and then other people came and asked me to write a book. So what I always say, well, you choose a career, but like I say to a lot of actors, have something else that also feeds you, because many times, especially in certain careers we choose, we might not get the results we want. So how do we find the thing that is really our gift so that we can make that into a career? And I think that is so unique to everybody. So you find something you love to do and never compromise and say, I'm going to do this because this is a good paycheck. Because then you have the paycheck, but you don't really have you. So I always think it's a balance between find what the person loves to do and also what is their gift that they can do and also serve while they do what they do.
I love that word you use all the time is spark. What's the spark? What makes you happy? What turns you on? It's like when you turn on the stove is a spark.
Yes.
Because
life is so short if we don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, and we can find it. We can always, there are always things in life
Yes.
that even.
And somehow we all know deep down what
Of
those
course,
things are.
what makes us happy.
What did we love to do when we were a kid? Did you love to dance? Did you love to read? Did you love to sell things? Did you,
like to
what did you
paint,
yeah,
yes.
all
Did
the
you-
different things.
You know, the woman who does my hair, she says to me, I always loved doing hair. When I was a little
Yes.
girl, I used to comb my doll's hair.
Right.
She's a hairdresser, but she loves it.
That's right.
I mean,
Exactly.
you wouldn't, you know, it's like it's her thing.
Right. No. I used to act all the time when I was a little kid. I'd jump out of my closet and sing a song.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, no, it's true.
I can just see you coming out of your closet singing. I love that.
And this is
I'm
from
going to try that.
this is from Erica. Hi, Agapi. In your book, you talk about no hidden agendas. What does this mean, and how do you apply it to your life?
Oh, I love that. Hi, Erica. A hidden agenda is really when you pretend you don't want, you're with someone, or you don't pretend you don't want it, you don't want something from people, and you hide it. And I call it a hidden agenda. And people can always tell because we're very transparent. So it would be like sitting there with people that they can offer you a job, and you talk about everything else, and there's this thing underneath saying, I really want this job that they can help me get, instead of saying, you know, I think you might be able to assist me in this if it's possible.
Right.
And you put it out there, and you're free.
Right.
And we've all had this experience
Right.
when you're sitting with someone and they say they want something from you. Why don't they just come out and
I
ask?
know. Or if they don't say what they want, and you feel something's going on here that I'm somehow not getting.
You feel it in
Yeah,
your belly.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be so much better if they just say, I need this. And
We
can
are
you help
much
me?
more transparent
Yeah. Oh, yes.
than people know. We know each other. You
Right.
know, it's like,
Well, this is the perfect question to follow that one up. This is from Brian. How do you ask and tell the world what you want without sounding entitled or weird?
that's a very excellent question, Brian. Thank you. Well, I think you just ask graciously without expecting that people should. There's no should. You should help me.
Right.
Because you can, or because you're in a position to help me. You just like, people have gotten where they've gotten because of whatever reason
Right.
they have. And it's like just offering them the possibility of also helping you and saying, would you do that? Would you help me on this? I think graciousness is a big key there.
That's interesting. I'm trying to find. What if you have, this is Diane Tate, what if you have a passionate goal in mind, but you're having problems laying out the groundwork? Are there any tips on how to begin?
Yes, Diane, great question. Get mentorship, get support.
Oh, that's
I
great.
remember when I was writing my first book, I had no clue about how to write a book. I was terrified. And I had a woman who my publisher suggested I work with, who was a genius about structuring books. And she took the whole structure of the book and she said to me, this step number 1, you do this. Step number 2, you do this. When you finish that, you do step number 3. And then I reported to her literally every week. And that structure that she gave me grounded me. And I wasn't overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't overwhelmed about writing a book because I knew there was just microscopic small steps that I did. But it was interesting, by the time I came to the 12th step of writing, I started to be so confident.
That's
And she
great.
kept saying to me, you're not emailing me, you're not calling me about, I said, I'm on a roll.
That's
But
great.
get support of people who are good at what you want to do.
That's
and
great.
you're starting.
Right.
Don't do it alone. Remember tip number 1? Do not try to do it alone.
Right. That's a great idea. That's great. And also doing things a little bit, because I know when I started my biography, I was afraid that I didn't know how to write it. Do I start when I was born? Do I start when my parents got married? How do I write a biography? And I thought, you know what? I don't know how I start. I'm just going to start writing different things that I remember, and I'll figure out then where they go. Because if I have to figure out, today I was born, I'll never get there.
It's not a linear
Yeah,
process.
exactly.
It's not a sequence.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
a sequence. The other thing, Marlo, that I want to say, because I know you have great faith and you believe, is that I don't, apart from asking people, you've got to ask your spirit. You've got to ask that spirit inside of you to help you.
Yes.
Because it does. But if we don't make the room, it's like God or spirit or whatever you want to call it, make that your partner.
Right, right.
Because
Yes.
then life is, you don't feel you're alone. We were not alone.
Well, that's an interesting thing. That's this next question. Everybody seems to be.
Oh my God, this is all falling in
I know,
synchronicity.
absolutely. This is from Lisa Graham of Ohio. Hi, Agapi. How do I overcome my fear of being alone? I find more and more that I need to be around people, and sometimes I can't even eat unless there's someone near me. Do I have a phobia?
Hi, Lisa Graham. Well, I have to tell you, this is something that I dealt with a lot in my life. And being Greek, I was always around people. And I studied psychology, and I did a program called in the University of Santa Monica. And I do have a story in the book called The Bath Story, actually, where I connected with a part of me that actually had felt like an orphan.
Really?
Like that part of me I felt really abandoned, that I had got to know that there was this grown-up in me that had gone into the world and done things, but there was a little girl there that felt very alone and hurting. And it was an amazing turning point in my life, because that part presented itself to me. Now, I was doing a lot of inner work and healing work, and I was ready. And it was a magnificent process and awakening to take myself in, to love myself. And you know what I did? I went and bought myself a ring.
Oh.
I did. I bought myself a ring, and I said, "You're always with me." And for about a year, I never went out without taking that ring with me, because you know, you always think the man will buy you a ring.
Right,
It's a gorgeous ring, pearl and 3 diamonds. I bought myself a nice ring because I wanted to, as a symbol, you know, our consciousness loves symbols.
Right.
To tell myself, I am now going to take care of you and be with you. And it was like, it's called like an inner bonding.
That's so great.
You know, I bonded with
What
myself.
a wonderful answer.
And when you bond with yourself, you take you everywhere, and you don't feel you're alone. And you know, I think it's a long process. I mean, I'm still doing it, and I talk to myself a lot.
I do too.
I said,
I have an inner mind. I sometimes have to say to myself, "Okay, that's it. I'm exhausted. Just leave me alone for a while." Now,
I reassure myself. I tell myself, "It's okay, honey. We're okay. You don't have to be anxious."
this is a kind of a difficult question, but it's so strong that I just can't ignore it. So, it's from somebody called Ghost World. Agapi, I recently dislocated my thumbs because of a bone disease. I've been practicing dental hygiene for 20 years. I'm discouraged because that's my career and I love to do it, but it's been lost forever now. Now, how do I get back on my feet, so to speak? It's difficult to get motivated to try something new when so much is dependent on the use of my hands. This is so specific, but I just thought maybe we could help in some way.
Well, God bless you, first of all, and much healing energy for your thumbs. In my experience, when I watched people or in myself, when things have happened to me in my physical body, like for example, I remember once I sprained my ankle really badly. It's a huge sign from yourself to give yourself the opportunity to heal about something. So if you use it positively instead of feeling bad or betrayed, I mean, it is something that is not pleasant, and it's not a happy thing in any way. But if there is a way that you can turn that around by seeing what it is that you can give yourself for your healing, for your well-being, and healing is a big part of what we are all here to do, you might find that there is a new opportunity and a new opening and a new discovery about you that will open up a whole new world. So use it as a positive, as a blessing, rather than something that is a tragic thing that happened in your life.
Well, it's because, you know, there are a lot of veterans coming home now from the war. Phil and I know a couple of them, young men and women who have lost their legs or use of their body from the waist down. Some of them have lost their arms, and they are finding ways in which to have joy in their life, to find something that they can do. Because there's all kinds of prosthetics now that can help you. Maybe you need to get in touch with a prosthetic center and find out what you can use in terms of artificial thumbs. Not that you want to maybe not be able to do dental hygiene again, but so that you'll still have the use of some kind of thumb. We have friends who don't have hands, who've had prosthetics put there so that they are able to help themselves. So there are places for you to find some help. So I don't know, I don't know the name, but I'm sure you go to a health center or a hospital, look in the phone book for prosthetics. There'll be something, I just know, that can help you.
And also, what about even finding people who've had a similar thing?
Yes,
see how they dealt with
absolutely.
it. So you just,
Yes.
build, you ask for people who've had a similar thing, their support. And what
Yes.
did they do? Because someone out there
Right.
might have done something that
Right.
might be your key. So
Yeah.
reach out.
Right.
Do not isolate
That's
yourself.
exactly right. And that's also, you might find somebody like that through the prosthetic center or through
Yes.
an emergency room. Somebody might help you.
Yes.
Good luck, darling. Good luck.
Good luck.
This is from Judy Saba. We don't have time for one or two more, but I try to get as many in as possible. Hi, greetings from the land down under Australia. Is a goal really a destination or is it a motivation, Judy?
Hi, Judy. Hi to Australia. Lots of Greeks in Australia, by the way.
Are there?
Melbourne, I hear.
Oh, really?
I think a goal is something that can propel you forward. But before I talked a lot about vision, I'm terrible at goals. They restrict me. They don't unbind me. Don't give me a goal because I'll rebel. I'm a rebel. So when people say you got to lose 10 pounds is a goal, but if I say I want to eat healthy, and feel lean and streamlined and feel good in my body, that to me is more of a vision. And then I do these things to implement that. Some people love goals, specifics, deadlines, and everything. Whatever works for you.
Right, exactly. Okay, this is our last question. It's a complicated one, but I think it's one that will speak to a lot of people. This is from Kumi. Hello, Kumi. Thanks for coming. I'm having trouble communicating with a close friend with whom I have a very complicated relationship. Every time I want to discuss something serious or about him, he becomes instantly defensive and angry. I've been walking on eggshells around him and I'd rather not. There's a lot of love in the equation, but a lot of hurt right now as well. How would you approach this situation? So whenever she wants to discuss something serious, he becomes defensive and angry. So how do you...
I wonder, Kumi, is this an intimate relationship?
I can't tell. But
We can't tell.
She said there's a lot of love in the equation.
I wonder, is this a friend or it sounds a little more complicated
Yes,
than
it
a
does.
friend. This has don't ever walk around on anybody on eggshells,
Right.
because that's a disservice to you. This is nothing to do about unbinding yourself. So whatever he's doing that's making you walk on eggshells, this is something really that you have to deal with you, because he's going to be what he's going to be. And whatever the boundaries are that you've put around yourself, I think your boundaries in terms of honoring you in who you are and not trying to change him or trying to change you to fit him. Do not do that.
Exactly.
Then you can't change anybody.
No.
Alas.
Yeah. And you can also say, you know what? I just can't walk on eggshells anymore.
And this is who I am.
So this is who I am.
This is who I am.
So,
And
so tell me when you're ready to talk, because
Yeah.
I can't do this. Well, we're out of time, my dear.
Oh,
thank you so much.
thank you. This was
You're
so
wonderful. You're
wonderful,
so
Marlo.
inspiring.
Thank you so
And your
much
book
for
is out
having me.
now, right?
yes, the book is out now
and
at
it's called
Amazon. And
Unbinding the Heart. And that's what we all want to do, is
It's a great
unbind our
distressor.
heart. Yeah, it is.
And
And I
my-
like that you talk about your own experiences. It's not like a lecture. You tell us how you did it so we can learn how to do it for ourselves.
Exactly.
And that's a great
yes,
service.
my journey. It's my journey
your
of my
journey.
life.
It's wonderful.
So
It's a-
tell them my website.
yes, yes.
My website is unbindingtheheart.com, and if you go on the website, first of all, you can read the preface of the book, and you can download a beautiful guided meditation I did called Coming into the Presence of Your Heart. And it's
Oh,
free,
I can't wait.
and it says beautiful music, and it's about 16 minutes, and you give that little dose of in your heart, and you walk and you take it in your day, and you're feeling
Oh, I can't wait to do it.
invisible. You're
Sounds
feeling
great.
really strong.
That sounds great. Thank you for coming, and we will see
Thank
you
you.
next week.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.